Everybody is expecting either complete fireworks, everything blowing up for the market, or that things completely tank down within the next like 12 to 24 hours. So I think things are going to change, and I want to show you why. Now, before we get into that, what I need to do first is just cover some real market analysis with you guys, looking at Bitcoin, the dollar, the S&P 500, a little bit of Ethereum too. And then I want to talk about what I think is going to happen next as well. Super, super important stuff. So if you're excited for this one, do me a favor and just smash up the likes here. Make sure you are subscribed as well so you don't miss out on this very time-sensitive content. Got the bell ticked and everything as well. But I'm not going to waste any time here, guys. We actually, it's the standard thing that Bitcoin loves to do, right? Bitcoin will, take quite a considerable amount of time moving up, and then it will erase all of that progress moving down, right? So in this case, it took us about 4 days to make this upward price move, and then we erased all of it within about 9 to 10 hours, right? So we've done exactly the same thing again now, and I think that tells us something a little bit about where we are. But you know what? We found support at a good level. We found support at 20K, and this is actually what I said before in the previous video. I said, look, if we do end up dropping, that $20,000 would be an area of support for Bitcoin. So it's nice to see that the price has actually stopped here, and I think what everybody is doing right now is they've just stopped and they're looking at what's going on with the Ethereum merge. So there's still, at the time of me recording, about 12 hours left until this is going to go through. It's just based on the blocks that we're at. So a little bit of time still remaining, but generally when things like this happen in the market, you'll have one group of people saying that everybody is going to be buying in anticipation of the news. A lot of people are quite bullish on Ethereum because of the merge. I'm not going to get into if it's a good idea or not. I honestly don't care. But a lot of people are excited for it. It does do something which would if you think about it, should allow people who hold Ethereum to see some more profit. But on the other side, you have many people, and actually this is the camp that I'm in, which are more so, like it almost doesn't matter what the news is. Just the fact that there is news and it's on a certain day at a certain time and everybody and their grandmother can watch it, and you can punch this into the YouTube search bar, into the Google search bar, and you can see that every news headline is just eyes on this one particular thing, looking at this one event taking place, and all of that attention to me is excessive. That to me is building up the perfect formula where we do the classic thing that these markets love to do, which is that they'll rally up quite well, in the lead up to something like this, and then they'll immediately get smacked right back down. Not even when the news event happens, it'll be a little bit before. This is actually something that I was kind of thinking could end up happening here, where, because it's so typical, it just go back, like a lot of the people who are very excited about this, I wish they would just kind of go back and look at how similar events took place in the past. And almost always what we end up seeing is that a day or two before the actual event happens, the weeks before the event happens, everybody's excited. We're getting these nice upward price moves. It's really, really exciting. It picks up a little bit. It really peaks. We hit resistance levels. People are excited and so on. And then a day before or 2 days before, usually a very short period of time before the actual thing happens, the dump starts. And we've got something like that right now. We've got a setup like that, because this run up was, actually in response to the dollar getting a little bit weaker, but the dollar's picked up a bit of that strength now. There was that CPI report again. It was like 8%, super high. Another interest rate hike of 0.75. There's expectations that we go up to beyond 4% by early 2023. And I don't know how familiar you guys are going to be with, what level interest rates could be, but this is the federal interest rate. Like, it's fucking enormous. It's really, really high at 4%. It's like more than double what would be normal, I guess. If normal is a word I can use here, it's very, very high. If we did get there, and obviously, that's going to be scaring people away from markets. One of the most concerning things that I've seen right here, ladies and gents, is what's happened with the S&P 500. Now, I outlined this as being the worst case for the S&P 500, or one of the worst cases. The first thing I said is I think we're going to get a bounce from here. Second thing is resistance here. And I said that if we end up finding resistance here and then fall all the way back down into this range, this is going to start looking a lot like we're actually going to collapse down. I don't know how strong this area of support is. We're testing it now for the second time, actually third time if we count what happened in July, but for the second time in our recent price action. And you know, it's not like a super weak area of support. You know, I think that this is still a good area of support all in all, but I don't like seeing that the market has dropped down here. And again, there is quite a steep drop for the S&P 500 if we do lose this level, right? If we do lose this level, the S&P 500, I think, until it has its next area of support, has about 8% downside to experience. And really, there isn't much going on this chart between this green box and this green line right here. So that's why I'm saying that I'm expecting a bit of a drop, and you can see this, right? There's just not really any like rejections, you know what I mean? Like you can see right here, this is a key rejection. This is a key rejection. This almost kind of came down to find support at the same level. So to me, it makes sense that we can say this is a key area on the chart. This is a key support level, resistance level, whatever. Here I'm not seeing any of that. You know, at best maybe there's something like around here. You know, you could probably put a line down right here and say that this is a support area, but in any case that's still quite a drop. And you know, I don't think that would be the end of it. You know, I do think we'd end up dropping a little bit lower, and the implication there is, you know, what does that mean for Bitcoin? You know, what does that mean for Bitcoin that's now just on the edge of $20,000? I mean, a lot of these markets are just like on the brink of a very, very large scale collapse. Like, it's not just a Bitcoin problem, ladies and gents. This is a worldwide economy problem right now with all kind of speculative markets. And yes, I am calling the SPX you know, a speculative index, because at the end of the day, that's what it is. It's just a measure of, you know, major companies in the US, and people speculate on those companies, right? So you know, and you see this with the individual stocks. I mean, there was quite a big tank yesterday. I didn't get to make a video on it yesterday, but you know, people were, bless them, people were generally quite upset. Doesn't seem to be reflected super well, actually. It looks like Tesla's already recovered it right here. But we did see quite a lot of red just yesterday, just all across all the markets. I mean, look at this, quite a big rip down, you know. I mean, to open so much lower and then close even lower than that is, yeah, I mean, it says something, right? This market is certainly in a delicate spot, you know, and I think that this is going to depend on again what happens with the SPX, because we look at Bitcoin right now and it's at a support level, but it looks to me like it's almost just waiting, you know, like we don't really know what exactly is going to be going on. Let's take a look at the Fear and Greed Index. Haven't looked at this for a couple of days. We're still pretty low. Yesterday we peaked up. Yesterday I didn't even see this. We jumped from 25 up to 34. That's a 9-point increase in a day. We usually don't move that quickly, and now back down towards extreme fear again. So you know, we want to be towards the lower end of this generally. That's going to be how we you know, can work our way out. When we experience enough pain, the market finally gives us a bit of relief, kind of thing, right? But you know, we're not as low as I'd like to see. So you know, a little bit more pain, and you know, from that side might make a little bit of sense. What I want to see on this chart, actually, not on this chart, on another Bitcoin chart, any other Bitcoin chart, is where are the support levels on this chart? You know, let's take a look at, you know, some of the Ichimoku clouds. You know, so it's not very well developed on the 4-hour, on the 1 day. Wow, that's another rejection on the 1 day. Look at that. I mean, we were warning about that on this YouTube channel as well. Guys, smash up the likes if you're finding this content useful, because this is quite impressive, I have to say. You know, the accuracy with which we are delivering analysis on this YouTube channel. Of course, just double check that you are subscribed as well, and that you have got the bell ticked. I just want to take this quick moment, by the way, guys, to bring this up to you guys, just this $8,000 bonus that is available. This is available on BitGet. This is one of the new exchanges I've been working with. They're not new, but it's new for me. I started working with them just last month. Like what I'm seeing so far. So if you want to check them out and get $8,000 in bonuses potentially, then follow the link in the description down below. It's free money. It's just you clicking around on your mouse and you get some cash. So go ahead and check it out if you think that sounds like a cool idea. Yeah, but the Ichimoku cloud here offering some resistance. I'm not actually really seeing any indicators that, you know, even could provide support to Bitcoin. Bitcoin's in a very funny range right now. It's also very, you know, manipulated price action, I would say. Like, this doesn't look like organic price action whatsoever to me. It almost looks like you know, just an opportunity to load in some shorts, trap in some longs, and then drop the market. You know, I mean, this is quite obvious you know, market manipulation as well, I would say, just given how quick the dump actually happened, right? So I mean, it's putting us right back in this range. I mean, this is the one idea that I said, which you know, obviously nobody really likes this idea, myself included. I just need to find the right chart to show this to you, and my charts are all so messy. You know, but it is this idea that, you know, Bitcoin could just kind of end up ranging for a little bit. Okay, so here's that double bottom that I was showing you guys as well. But the idea just being that Bitcoin could kind of range between, and let me just choose the right color of these lines. Let's go for a blue line this time. Could just be kind of ranging between these two levels right here, you know, so it just kind of zigzags between these levels a little bit. You know, it seems like we kind of got rejected at this resistance area. You know, perhaps we find support here and then mount another attack up. That kind of thing would make so much sense right now. You know, it just depends on if we're going to be seeing some bigger collapses from the SPX, and if we're going to see some bigger rallies from the dollar, you know, and that is very much a macroeconomic question, not really something that your boy on this YouTube channel can answer. I do have my opinions, of course, but I am just not well informed enough to talk about it. So you know, if you want me to talk about it, I'll study this stuff a little bit more. But I mean, you know, I'm a young guy, you know, like you want to listen to some older, more smart people than me when the conversation is about where the dollar might go. You know, I think that's a pretty difficult one for me to take on my plate. But nonetheless, it is looking strong. It is looking strong, and it like I said, it doesn't have any resistance up above until 119. So there's quite a long way that the dollar could rip, and this would cause a lot of destruction for the markets. Like I said, for Bitcoin, if there is a little bit of a drop, like I said, I mean, you know, I'm basically just looking at revisiting the range lows. So that's going to be 18.5. You know, that's basically where we bottomed out just recently. Otherwise, you know, that kind of 17.6 area as well, also being a potential bottom zone. You know, and below that, we are looking at, I think, the very low teens for Bitcoin. You know, 12,000 to 9,000 really is the kind of range that I'd be expecting. That said, though, like I said, we are at support. Honestly, I don't know what the support can do at this stage. I don't think it's even in Bitcoin's hands, but we are at a support level nonetheless. The main thing that I want to make you guys aware of is, you know, when we do have these kind of news events, generally, you know, I mean, we are following the exact same formula that we followed many times before, which would result in big market drops. Doesn't mean it's going to happen again today. No, it doesn't mean that whatsoever. But fuck, like, we're following in the same footsteps, you know what I mean? Like, that's just ultimately what it comes down to. I want to show you Ethereum against Bitcoin quickly. Ethereum against Bitcoin has lost a lot of power. It's dropped down by quite a bit. It's now kind of ranging again. It's looking very nice. You know, I still think that Ethereum can actually drop a little bit lower. You know, I don't think that this is over, especially with the merge. I mean, the thing is, what you need to keep in mind with kind of events like this right here is, you know, when it's done, the anticipation is over. You know, like a lot of people will be buying it in anticipation of something cool happening, but when it's done, now what? You know, like, now you need to look for the next like event to hype yourself up, but there is none, or there's at least none in the near future. And that's really important, because that could mean that demand goes down. And so what you've got all of a sudden is a lot of people that have bought the asset in anticipation of rising demand. Now they have the asset, they push the green button. The only button they can now press is the red one. And are they more likely to press that red button after the event is over and after that level of demand is gone? Are those people more likely to start selling? The answer is generally yes, because guys, people are not buying Ethereum or Bitcoin or many of these other coins and even companies and indices because they like them. You know, they're doing it because they want to make money. Of course, you have to like them too, but it's not, you know, it's not like how, you know, some of you guys are maybe like this. I'm definitely like this, where like I'd hold Bitcoin down to fucking $3,000. I've said this before. I mean, I've got no problem with it. I'm mentally prepared to hold Bitcoin down to like 600 or whatever. You know, and the reason for that is I just fucking love Bitcoin. I love using it. I love the philosophy. I'm willing to lose money if I'm wrong on this. But I think Bitcoin is a great way, you know, to use money, and so I love it. But most people are not like that. Most people are only here to make money. Most people are only here to profit from the markets, and I've got to be realistic about that, and so do you. You know, I think that when you consider it from that perspective, like, is it really Is it really the fact that Ethereum is moving from proof of work to proof of stake? Is that why people want to buy Ethereum? Or is it because there's a potential financial incentive in doing so? And what happens if that financial incentive is removed? What happens if you buy something with a promise that it's going to go up, with a belief that it's going to go up, and then that belief is removed from you? Why are you holding it anymore? What are you going to start doing? What are you going to do if it starts tanking and you no longer have that belief? You know, you're really going to be challenging yourself there to see if you can actually hold on to the asset. That's what I want you guys to think about over this next day or two while this merge takes place. You know, I think this is going to be a very, very interesting time, and I'm super interested in trading Ethereum as well. I will continue to give all of my updates on what I'm doing inside of VIP. You already know the deal by following these steps on screen. And once more, guys, if you want to get that $8,000 bonus on BitGet, and check them out by following the link in the description down below. I really hope you have enjoyed this video though. You know what to do. If you have, smash up the likes, subscribe, tick the bell, and I'll see you all in the next one. I'm out. Bye bye.